Good afternoon, all. Yes, this is our objective. We are very, very conscious of what this game means. Not only the nation, but of course myself, the players, and everybody involved. We know what this game means. So our preparation has been for the last 2 days. You know, I've often spoke about the difficulty of preparation at international level, but it's the same. It's the same for the Central African Republic team training today and playing tomorrow, and it's the same for us. We will do everything that we can to get the result that we want to get. So our preparation has been good. As with all international camps, sometimes you miss players through injuries, and of course we are missing some through injuries, but it's always an opportunity for others. We are playing at home, we have a good record here, and it's a record that we want to continue.
Right, so before my colleagues come in, I think the communication director mentioned Joseph Paintsil. Can you give us an update as to why you took that decision to let him go together with the medical team? Joseph Paintsil.
Yes, and I would have to say credit to Joseph Paintsil and also his club, Genk, for allowing him to come. He sustained an injury right at the end of the last game. He had to been taken off. He sustained a foot injury. Came here because he wanted to be here and wanted to be assessed, and also his club allowed him to come. But knowing that he would, by all accounts, probably be returning back to the club. So after, of course, seeing our medical staff, it became quite apparent that he wouldn't be available for Wednesday's game, and of course now has returned back to the club. But we certainly thank his club for allowing him to come, because certainly in that situation there would have been a lot of clubs that wouldn't have allowed their player to travel.
Right. Your name in the house, please. Please pass over the microphone to him for me, please. Right. And then one question each because of time.
Coach, my name is Soa of GBC Kumasi. Your opposite number sat where you are a while ago, and in his intro, he quite conceded that indeed you have a great pool of players, talented ones to choose from. And it looks to us that already he conceded defeat before the final whistle is even blown tomorrow. Are you going to fall for that probably and get into his tactics?
No, I think all I can do is speak on behalf of myself as head coach, and of course the Black Stars. That's all I can do. What any opposition manager or player has to say about their own team or the game, that of course is their opinion. My opinion is there are no easy games in this group, home or away, and the level of African football has improved, I think, significantly over the years, which means that there aren't any easy games. So we will have to treat good opposition with the respect that they deserve. But I go back to what I said. We are playing at home here in Kumasi in front of our own supporters, and we hope that they can drive us on to the victory that we want.
Hi, Coach. My name is Gabriel from Citi of TV. So, quick one. I think you mentioned about Joseph Paintsil having to leave the squad. Is there room for any replacement? Because there is reports that Issahaku of Leicester City will join the squad. How true is that?
Yes, that is true. He will join the squad. He's just, of course, joined Leicester City, which is a wonderful move for him. Coming, obviously, from Portugal, where he didn't play so much. Of course, was involved with the under-23s in Morocco in the summer. Played all 3 games. And it's a good move for him, and I think one that will really develop his career. So yes, he will join. We're hoping that he will be with us this evening.
My name is Patrick Apiakudi, RFM. About Joseph Paintsil injury, will it affect your tactics on tomorrow's game?
No, I mean you spoke about Joseph Paintsil's withdrawal from the squad, but that would be the same as others. You know, Thomas Partey and Daniel Amate. Even going back to Ashimiro, which is a few weeks ago. Benjamin Teti, that has been in and around the squad and fit now. So yes, and also of course, yes, Joe Wallacott. So there are several. So I think as regards one individual, this is football, and what you have to be able to do is you have to be able to adjust. If for any potential player that perhaps might have started and of course is injured, it's a really good opportunity for somebody else, and that's where you have to look at the strength of the squad that you have. I think it's a good squad we have. It's a good squad, it's a good balance of the squad, good balance of young players and experience, and we will have to pull on. We will have to pull on that experience in what will be a tough game, and we will have to pull on that useful qualities that some of the young players have.
Good afternoon, Coach. Abraham Alokore, Assassin 98.5 Kumasi. Coach, I wish you the best for tomorrow's game, but there's one reality that I think we must all be alert to, and that reality is that Ghana sits advantageously in our group. We have 9 points, but we could also end up at the end of 90 minutes not qualifying for the AFCON next year. How does such a reality impact on your ability to psych your players in the direction that it is now or never for the team?
Yes, I understand the question, and I think the question applies to myself and the whole of the team. You know, there isn't one player that's in this squad that isn't very, very conscious and aware of what tomorrow's game means. I think we know the mathematics, we know about winning or drawing the game, and the consequences of losing it. So that has to be a driving factor. You know, I think for, you know, there isn't a player, maybe some of the young players, but there isn't a player in the squad that, you know, hasn't played games that maybe at the end of the season or at some stage or a semi-final or a final where the game means more. And this is the last game, last qualification game, and everybody is aware of what this game means. And what we want that, we don't want that to be a burden. We want that to be something that drives these players on to get the result that we need and we want.
Okay, Coach, my name is Sally Sani, Husky Radio. The past two games Ghana played, both home and away. Our last game here at home was a bit of difficult because we struggled to score at the dying best of the game. Against Madagascar too, there was a little bit uncomfortable performances based on what people saw and then how people respond to that game. Do we, or are we going to see a different or a little bit of twist in your tactics to suit what people expect and what the journalists expect, and what you think will better the team?
Yes, I think, well, I know what everybody expects and wants. They want to win, you know, and in whichever, I'm quite sure in whichever fashion this win comes, will be acceptable because it means qualification for AFCON, which is our big goal. I am very conscious, particularly of the last performance where we did not perform at our best. And I am also conscious that, you know, we have found it difficult to get the goals that we need to make the games more comfortable for us. So this I'm confident on, but still, you know, whatever my tactics or team that I go into the game into tomorrow, it is very much to score goals and win. But the last part of what I said is the most important thing. You know, we are up against a good side that know that they have to get something here. So I don't see a team, an opposition team, that's just going to sit back and allow us to attack wave after wave. So it's about getting the tactics right. I am conscious we need to score goals, and I said we will drive that onto the players and do everything we can for that to happen.
All right, thank you, Coach. My questions are two. I'm Asari, Oskeni TV. First of all, the invite of Andre Ayew, the captain for the side, has been in the news for this after the squad was announced. I'm expecting you to please address it on why you invited a captain for not playing for a while and also clubless. Then Richard Ofori, also the goalkeeper, got an invite. Edmond Addo further has also not played for some time now. Then finally, Patrick Pfeiffer, the defender.
Please let him answer
Good.
the first part.
Right,
So
thank you.
Edmond Addo, Andre, and then
Richard Ofori.
and then Richard Ofori.
Yes.
Thank you.
Then when he's done.
Yes, I can answer all three in one. You know, what I always have to do, I have to look at the balance of the squad. I have to look at the injuries that we've acquired before the squad was announced, and I have to get that right balance of experience. You know, is this the right game to bring in players that are not proven, that have maybe not been in the squad before? Yes, there can be some part of that, but also there has to be a part of having some stability in the squad in what is a vital game. So for everybody, there's nobody that has the right to be in any squad. They have to earn that right, and that can come in different ways. That can come with somebody like Andre, who's our captain, who's a big influence and respectful player around the squad. So for what he can add to the squad, and Edmond Addo, you know, for the games that he's played, and also for the options that we have in central midfield. And you might think different, but we certainly, as from offensive midfield, you know, we don't have as many options as what we have in other positions. You know, particularly players that have played and been in previous squads. So for every player that's in there, there's a thought process that goes on. You know, nobody gets into the squad just because it's a squad. There's a thought process for every single player, and that's for me to think about. It's always difficult for everybody that wants to pick a squad, because I'm quite sure if I spoke to all of you individually, the squad would differ by 5-6 players for all of you. But it's my responsibility to pick a squad that I think will win us the game.
Right. And then what was the question about Patrick Pfeiffer?
Yeah. Finally, even though I understand that you are watching some particular kind of players, but I was asking on Patrick Pfeiffer since he switched nationality from Germany to Ghana last year.
Yes.
Among the 5 players, only Patrick is yet to get an invite to the national team. I'm only asking if you have been watching him and what is the situation on Patrick. Thank you.
Yes, I'm aware of Patrick. I spoke with him quite some time ago. He has had some difficulties. He had some injuries in that period of time, but he is a player that's very much on the radar, that we are aware of. I think he's injured at this moment. I don't think he's playing at this moment. I think he started maybe the first game of the season in the pre-season. So he is a player that we are aware of. But I have to say, he is, you know, certainly since I've been in this job, I've been made aware, or through, you know, our scouting system, through myself, there are so many either first or second generation Ghanaians that can be or are available to play. But Patrick is certainly one very much that we are aware of.
Right. So you take You take the next one, then Sarah, and then Said, and that will be it. So the final 3 questions.
All right, so Coach, I'm Robert Dramani Musa, Hello FM, Despite Media. Coach, my question happens to be on the local player Jonathan Soa. He's called up to the Black Stars. How is he coping up with the team, and is there a possible debut for him come Thursday?
Firstly, yes, it's good to see him in the squad, and I think he deserves it. I was fortunate enough to see him again on Sunday. Scored 2 goals and potentially could have scored another 2. It is and has been my responsibility to, watch as many games as I can. I can only watch so many because although this is our local league, we also, of course, have a huge amount of players playing in Europe. So I watch as many games as I can, and which allows me, one, to get an understanding of the levels of the leagues and the teams, and but more so about the individuals. And Jonathan was one, I have to say, that was brought to my attention first before I had the opportunity to see him. So yes, he will be in the squad, and I say very much deservedly so.
Coach, Issahaku football. Kumasi, we know, is the home of Ghana football. The Black Stars haven't lost here in over 20 years. Yesterday, the fans were not happy not to have a feel of the players in training. What message do you have for them? What should they expect tomorrow? A message to the fans of Kumasi.
Well, firstly, we apologise that we can't allow our fanatical supporters in for both training days. It's a difficult decision, but we have some work to do, some tactical work to do. That, as we all know, in these days of social media and their mobile phones, so they can video. So it's impossible really to allow 2 days. But today we will, and we are always grateful. I don't think there's one player that's not excited to see him, to get an early feel of also what they can experience tomorrow. Most have experienced it, but it still gives us an early feel of what they'll experience. But I think also more importantly, it's an opportunity for the Black Stars to give something back to our supporters. And I have to speak about here in Kumasi because this is where we are and this is where the game is. But our support here has been incredible. We have a very competitive game tomorrow. Our support can make the difference. They can, and they have made the difference in the past. And we very, very much appreciate, and we hope as many as possible turn up to support us.
Right, Said, Said, you take this one, I give you the final back. So give it to Said, please.
Coach Said, Akuma FM. Coach, Gredon Che is playing for Clermont-Ferrand in France. Why is he not in the squad, but clubless Andre Ayew in the squad? Simple one.
Yeah, sorry about that. Was just checking something. Yes, I am aware of Grijon. I've seen him play. I was in France a few weeks ago to see a few games there. So I am very much aware of. But what I can tell you is that you have mentioned one name. You could mention 20 or 30 names. That's and this is what I have found since I've been in the job. That there are, if I have to pick a squad, 24, 25 players, the amount of players that are very close to being in that squad have grown, and it's got bigger and bigger. And almost as each few weeks go, there's another player that's recommended to me, or through our scouting system, or through the files that we have. So he would just be one of numerous players. And I have a squad to pick. Those that are not in the squad, you know, all they can do is continue or work as hard as they can in their club football, whether that's here in Ghana or in Europe, to do as well as they can to potentially at some stage earn the right to be in the squad.
Hello,
That's the final one, yeah.
my name is Issahaku for Junior Citi Sports Plus. Now, Thomas Partey is a big player for Ghana. He's kicked over 80 plus forward zone passes for the Black Stars, and when you look at passes over 150 in the African qualifying series, he's one of the top players when it comes to progressive passes in the Black Stars. In the absence of Thomas Partey, is there anyone who can help in progression, given the metrics of the other players, which is below 40 plus progressive passes?
Yes, it's a good question, and we are very aware of Thomas's abilities in that midfield, and whether he's playing in a deeper position or whether he's playing higher in an 8, he gives the team a composure and a quality on the ball. But it's my responsibility to scout as hard as we can, okay, and identify similar type players. You know, it is probably an area. It's probably an area that certainly for the ones that have been in the squad. We don't have so many. Kofi, of course, is somebody who's been out injured for a while, that has that type of ability as what we regard as a number 8. But it's my responsibility to source and find the amount of players that we need, the creative type players in midfield that Thomas would be.
Right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.